What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. You know, it seems like every couple of weeks I come on here and I make a video talking about the Tennessee football program being disrespected, whether it's talking about Peyton Manning, Johnny Majors being robbed of the Heisman Trophy, or we're talking about rankings in the AP poll, even college football playoff rankings 2 years ago when Tennessee beat Alabama head-to-head, but yet Alabama comes out in the rankings ahead of Tennessee. Let's not bury the lead, but that may be the case once again. Sometimes it's just the overall perceived perception of the program. Our offense, Boogie, our offense is not very good. Meanwhile, they're ranked in the top 10 in the country. I think people believed in this defense for the most part, but even in the last couple of weeks, the narrative has been our run defense isn't good enough because Kentucky, Mississippi State moved the ball on Tennessee. You still only gave up 18 points to Kentucky. You gave up 14 to Mississippi State. And oh, by the way, you still have the sixth best run defense in the country. So I get it. I get the concerns. I get the frustrations at times, but sometimes we need to step back and look at where this program is really at. You know, I talk a lot about moving the goalpost, right? Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State to start the season. Everybody's talking about, well, level of competition. Tennessee's not that good. Then you go on the road. You beat Oklahoma. Yeah, it's ugly. Maybe it doesn't look the way you wanted it to look. Tennessee's not very good. Then you drop the game to Arkansas. I feel like that's really where the wheels fell off. And I know I make this comparison all the time on the channel because I think it applies, going back to Nick Saban in his comments to Kirby Smart, saying that he had an Alabama team that lost early in the year, and it was the best thing that could have happened to them. They bounced back. They won a national championship. I said, why not Tennessee? Why can Tennessee not grow from that loss to Arkansas on the road, go put it together, go execute for 60 minutes, and win week by week by week? They say it every week. Go 1-0. Just go 1-0 this week. But I get it. The concerns. We lost to Arkansas. We're not very good. You can't play like that and beat Florida. Well, they played like that and they beat Florida 23-17. You can't play like that and beat Bama. You beat Bama 24-17. You beat Kentucky. You beat Mississippi State. Now it's all about the college football playoff. We pull up the ESPN FPI and take a look at it. You got to beat Georgia. That's it. Go beat Georgia and you're in. And I know people are going to say, well, Boogie, what about Vanderbilt? They're pretty good. No, I don't care. I don't care. If Tennessee beats Georgia this weekend, they're not slipping up to UTEP. They're not slipping up to little brother Vanderbilt. They're going to go win out, and they're going to go represent Tennessee's going to go represent in the SEC championship, and they're going to have a shot in the college football playoffs. But you look at the ESPN FPI and where Tennessee's at, and they're coming in at ninth, and I get it. What? Ninth? How in the world are we ninth? How is Alabama number one? This isn't based on results, rankings, wins, or losses, anything like that. You can go look it up. It's AI. AI is taking over the world. They've got a formula that they do to come up with this. There's 20,000 simulations that go into this. Historical data, the quarterback position. It's used as the best predictor of a team's performance from where we are now moving forward. So it doesn't matter that Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. They feel like moving forward, Alabama is the best team in the country. They just go beat up on LSU. So I don't put too much into this as far as feeling like it's disrespectful, but it just gives you a gauge of where Tennessee is at. And you got to go beat Georgia. And it gives you a 12.5% chance to win out. It gives you a 13% chance to win the conference. Now, here's where it gets interesting. 75.4% chance to make the playoff. If you roll up there and you look at Alabama, you can see that they are just slightly lower than Tennessee at 74.5% chance of making the playoff. But this is where the disrespect comes in, because when you look at that small difference, that small fraction, that AI computer formula stuff that's way too smart for me, they've got it that close. So what happens when you involve the human element? What happens when you involve a bunch of people sitting around in a boardroom that haven't watched every game? What happens when there's Bama bias? That's what we're going to get into. But I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up real quick. I know I say it every video, and people, I'm just going to watch. But yeah, I'm not doing that today. Just hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We're not journalists. We're not any of that stuff. What this channel is for the fans, by the fans. So if you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video live later tonight. It's a laid-back chill stream. We play EA Sports College Football. You guys have the opportunity to come on and play me head-to-head. We hang out. We talk Vol football. We talk about what we had for dinner. We build the community on Tuesday nights. We have regular Talkin VAWLS live on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Friday morning, me and Coach Jay go live at 10 a.m. Grab your coffee because we got a special guest. Ben McKee from Go Vols 247 is going to join us on Friday morning for that morning show, getting you ready for kickoff. But let's kind of keep this thing rolling. What is the disrespect? What is the human element? Well, it is Elliot, who is an idiot. That is Bud Elliott. Works for 247 Sports, works for CBS, also does the Cover 3 podcast. He tweets out, you can see it there, my new official college football playoff projection. Well, where is Tennessee? Because I see Alabama coming in down there at the 12th spot. And what you're going to go ahead and assume here is that he is predicting Georgia to beat Tennessee, give them their second loss, and leave them out of it. Now, you go over here and you see the comments. Millie Strin here says, curious to why Alabama is above Tennessee when Tennessee beat Alabama. But Elliott's response is, well, Tennessee lost to Arkansas. The response is, so Tennessee's win over Alabama and a hypothetical win over Vanderbilt, who also beat Alabama, are negated by the fact that Tennessee lost to Arkansas. Am I correct? Yes. I don't think the SEC gets 5 teams in. It's not been the same great league this year. I agree with that. The top teams are way worse than normal. Ole Miss winning and Missouri winning were bad news for the Vols. Still can't defend his argument. Still can't defend his argument for Alabama getting in. Are you stupid? Or just plain stupid? He's super stupid. So you can see there, Bud Elliott, he's not going to validate why Alabama goes in. He's just going to put Alabama in, and he's putting so much emphasis on Tennessee's loss to Arkansas. And when you look at the body of work, when you look at what these teams have done, I think you could kind of call it similar. Alabama with wins over Western Kentucky, South Florida, Wisconsin. They beat Georgia. That's a big-time win. They lost to Vanderbilt 40-35. And I know everybody's talking about how great Vanderbilt is. I'm sick of hearing it. Congratulations to them for getting bowl eligible. Who cares? Tennessee's going to roll Vanderbilt. They beat South Carolina 27-25. This is where everything should be pointed at. This is what all the talking points should be. Tennessee, Alabama, they both got 2 losses. Well, did they play each other? Yes, and Tennessee won 24-17. Alabama goes on to beat Missouri. They beat LSU. I'm not arguing that Alabama probably has better wins, not even probably, definitely has better wins than Tennessee. So then you look at Tennessee's resume again, wins over Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, on the road to beat an SEC Oklahoma team that was ranked 15th at the time. I think that's worth mentioning. You lose to Arkansas, and then you go beat Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. So for me, if you're going to look at the college football playoff and you've got 2 teams in the same conference with the same record, then I think you got to go with who won head-to-head, settle it on the field. You look around the SEC, Tennessee and Texas are the only SEC teams with 1 loss. I'm not talking conference losses. I'm not talking conference championship. I'm talking overall record for trying to get into the college football playoff. So you look at the 2-loss teams. Texas A&M still has to play New Mexico State. They go on the road to play Auburn, and then they play Texas. So either Texas A&M finds a way to beat Texas, and now we got a whole nother problem with another 2-loss team, or Texas handles Texas A&M, and they're off the table. That is the likely scenario. Georgia plays Tennessee, UMass, Georgia Tech. If they do beat Tennessee, then you've got 2 more 2-loss teams in there. Ole Miss at Florida, Mississippi State. Ole Miss likely to be a 2-loss team. Alabama goes on the road to Oklahoma, and then they play Auburn, likely to be a 2-loss team. Missouri, everybody making fun of Dorkwitz for his comments after their win this past week, saying college football playoff. They go on the road to South Carolina, on the road to Mississippi State, and then they play Arkansas. I can see them dropping 2 of those 3 games, but I could also see in Missouri finding a way to put it together and going and winning and being another 2-loss team in this conversation. But that brings me to this. Don't let an idiot like Bud Elliott control your destiny. Don't let an idiot like Bud Elliott decide whether or not you get to make it to the college football playoff. Go on the road this weekend, handle business against Georgia, and don't leave it in the hands of the judges. I told you, I'm going to say it every single day on this channel until Saturday. Do not leave it in the hands of the judges. Go and finish the fight. And I get it. You got a tall task in front of you. You're a 10-point underdog going on the road in the SEC, going down to Athens, hostile environment, night game. The ESPN FPI doesn't even give you a 40% chance of winning. We know Josh Heupel's been really good in Neyland Stadium, but he has struggled on the road. 7-8 in true road games since arriving at Tennessee. Lost to Georgia in 2022. You got embarrassed by South Carolina that year. You got embarrassed by Missouri last year. You lost on the road to Arkansas. All the losses that really stand out in Josh Heupel's tenure at Tennessee have come on the road. And it's not just wins and losses. It's offensive production. You're putting up about 14 points less per game when you go on the road. I think that's worth noting, and that's worth talking about. But I think defense travels, right? That's the trendy thing everybody's saying right now. Defense travels. Let's take this defense down to Athens. Let's get after Carson Beck. Let's put pressure on him. I think this defensive line can do it. The Georgia offensive line is beat up, banged up. They're in survival mode. Let's get after Carson Beck and let him do what we know he will do. Let him throw interceptions, force turnovers, play confident football. Hopefully Nico's back. Hopefully Nico is healthy. Let's go down there and execute. We've been moving the ball. You can't turn the football over in the red zone. If you go down there and you do those things, I think Tennessee can come out of this thing with a win. What are your thoughts? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. We can talk about how Bud Elliott is an idiot. We can talk about the college football playoff. We can talk about the 2 lost teams. We can talk about Tennessee going and beating Georgia this weekend. Make sure you do smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. If you like the content around here, think about hitting that join button. You can do that for just $1 per month. The links are in the description below to do all of that. We appreciate your all support. You can also hit that super thanks button. It's like a super chat on a video, just a tip in the tip jar. We are grateful and thankful that we get to come on here and talk Tennessee football every single day. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.